So we've also had a lot of interest from companies in applying edX-style technologies for executive education. So companies not only train a lot of their incoming employees, but they also have continuing education, they also have training, they train their customers and so on. And so the same kinds of technologies can be used as a very effective way for employers to train their employees for continuing education of executives. The significant fraction of the students who took our inaugural course were continuing learners, the people that wanted to refurbish their skills or learn new areas, get into new areas and so on. So this can be a huge help for executives as well. The other area where edX can have a big impact on companies and the commercial world is that the companies and the commercial world are constantly looking for really, really good talent. And the whole interview process involves looking at all the paper resumes and interviewing several candidates. And sometimes, if a company wants to hire 10,000 students in computer science, they may get 250,000 resumes. It's a real challenge. So one of the goals of edX is to work with employers and offer career placement services. So just imagine an employer can say, I would really like a student who has a background in computer science, particularly, let's say, in parallel computing or parallel programming. While at the same time, I also want them to have experience in energy or in mechanics or some other subjects. So now employers can work with edX and find students that have done well in edX courses or done well in courses offered on edX, whether MITx, HarvardX, or other university courses, and can look for the top students and that they can try to hire. This way, if a student has done well in a given course, then the employer can get access to that student and interview them. Also, we expect that students will include the certificates and credentials that they get on edX. Students will include those credentials on their resumes as well as they send them to employers. And as we've had discussions with prospective employers, they've given us anecdotal data that says that they will seriously consider students that have done well in MITx or HarvardX courses and have a certificate and a good grade from some of these courses. And their view is that as long as a course is taught by the same faculty from Harvard or MIT that teaches the course on campus, and if that course is MIT hard or Harvard hard, it's the same course, it's the same teachers, the same course, the same level of difficulty, then our feedback is that employers would be very interested in talking to those students. Prospective employers and companies will be seeing more and more students coming up with resumes with courses taken online. We started with one course, we'll have a handful of courses in the spring and many more courses in future semesters. And there's also many other online efforts that are offering online courses. So there'll be more and more students coming up with who've completed these courses. At edX, we are even giving out MITx and HarvardX certificates for courses that are taught by the same professors, where the courses are as hard as the campus course. So employers will be seeing more and more of these students with these credentials. And I think that will certainly give them a lot more people to choose from. In many areas, employers have told us they just don't have enough people. There are many more openings than people they can hire. And if we provide access to a broader range of students, we should be able to get a lot more students applying for jobs, particularly in areas and countries where there's a dearth of very good education.